get cracking!
Welcome back, everybody, to Game 2 after what was a solid Game 1. Man, that was just entertaining as hell. A back-and-forth 65-minute affair between Alliance and Rock's with tons of action. It finally came to a close with Rock's securing that Game 1. Now we're going to go into the second game of this two-game series, and let's get straight into the draft as we had that bit of an issue there with XSplit crashing, so we got a lot of ground to cover as I can welcome in my co-caster, Mr. Ryuuboruz, formerly of Team E-Hug, is going to be joining me.
What's up, man? I'm also a member of Pretty Boy Swag. Why don't you say that?
You know, as much as I was a fan of Pretty Boy Swag and that team name, let's not forget stand-in for North American Rejects. Super stand-in, if I recall.
Thank you. Hey, remember what happened? We won the game. What happened next game?
I actually did not finish out the series.
Oh, you didn't watch? They lost the next game.
Really?
It was like 65-minute game too.
Support Ryuuboruz.
And top 5 won. And it was actually a really exciting game for some reason. That's like a spoiler, but oh well, who cares? There was no way they should have won it. It was, oh my god. It's hilarious.
All right, well, let's focus on this game, man, because we got a lot to cover in the draft. We got Ember Spirit, Invoker, as well as the Naga Siren and Bat Rider, all being banned out in the first phase. Rock's they do get that Centaur Shadow Demon combo. However, this time around, they are not going to be able to secure the Darkseer, as that was picked up by Alliance, which they combo with the Dazzle. So picking up some Purple Eaters, apparently. Luna and as well as the Mirana was banned out by Alliance. It feels like that was the big difference maker last game, was the Luna on Rock's and the Mirana on Team Alliance. They banned out both of those. Meanwhile, the Puck and the Lycan taken out by Rock's. We have the Wisp pick up now for Alliance, while Rock's staying true to their last draft. They may not get the Luna, but they will secure Shadow Shaman for Goblock.
Yeah, they have 3 of the 5 heroes last time. Maybe that's their recipe for success. But they don't have the Darkseer this time. They don't have an extra team fight controller right now. They have good kind of push right now. Alliance, they're just having a wombo combo of themselves. It seems like just having the Magnus now along with the Darkseer. So it's easier to hit definitely with the Magnus Darkseer combo than Centaur Darkseer. So we'll see if they can execute it this game. But I don't think they have to. Roxas can just use their Stampede, use their Initiate, because their Initiate with Centaur is just going to be amazing with the counter initiation of Shadow Demon. I don't know. These heroes have been picked up every time I cast, and it's been like this for the last week or so or two. There's always a Shadow Demon Centaur on the same team, and they might not have the highest win rate. I think it's like 60 though, 60 plus. If we had Nahaz here or somebody, I'm pretty sure they would have like the highest. It used to be Shadow Demon and Potom. Now it seems like it's Shadow Demon and Centaur. That's the flavor of this month.
Hey man, like the buff damage for a Mirana arrow is good and everything. You could see the combination working really well with the Shadow Demon with that extra damage from Soul Catcher. Hey, it's a great combo that does a ton of damage, but it just cannot compare to the burst damage that a Centaur can lay down, especially since he's allowing him to be able to set up those early kills for him. Basically allows him to just get bigger and bigger, being able to pick up the Blink Dagger faster and then turn that into usually a pipe, or at least a Hooded Defiance, into those many other items that Centaur is actually very, very strong going into the late game. That return is just a beast when it comes to damage, and of course his AoE stun is always going to be welcome. But Rock's though, this is interesting. We now pick up 2 different offlaners. Now Rock's and other teams have been known to be trying Centaur out in other roles rather than just the traditional offlane role. We've seen some aggro tries come up from Centaur, but this is interesting. Now a Clockwork being picked up by Rock's, so they've got tons of initiation.
And if you're a great Clockwork player going against a great Magnus player, normally the Clockwork will just take a poop on them or something. But it's not always the case. But Clockwork 1v1 against Magnus mid is just kind of painful for the Magnus. You need your mana. You need every single drop of mana on the Magnus. And once that first mana burn comes out, you use one Shockwave and you're out of mana. So you're not going to be CSing that well, in my opinion, because Clockwork has a better animation, and I'm interested to see what's going to happen because they could always do the dual lanes they did last game with the IO Magnus middle, or they could do IO or Magnus middle because S4 didn't actually play mid last game. It was Loda.
So the current win rate of Centaur and Shadow Demon is 25 and 21, 25 to 21. So they're sitting at a 54% win rate, which is not bad at all. But whoa, Alliance instantly picking up the Wraith King here. Interesting. We now have a one-position Wraith King with a Wisp. Looks like they're just going to be getting all kinds of aggressive, and thanks to the Magnus pickup that they had earlier, that EGM secured for S4, they're going to be able to make this Wraith King even more of even a better, harder carry because of that Empower. So it's really going to be able to help him out a lot. But Roxkiss, though, the question is, do you want to go late game up against this lineup? Like, Wraith King is not the greatest late game carry in the world. Well, that answers our question. Roxkiss secure the Shadow Fiend, which does give them good mid game, but if it goes late, Shadow Fiend, can definitely do a lot of work.
Yeah, and even if you just ulti the Magnus on the Shadow Fiend, you still have the Shadow Demon Disrupt, you still have the Stampede initiations from the Centaur Clockwork, so they actually have a lot to actually deal with the Magnus RP right now, which is what the biggest problem could have been, but it's not a problem at all right now, I'm seeing. And Shadow Fiend, yeah, they're playing really greedy on Alliance right now, so why not play greedy and go Shadow Fiend? I think he's definitely one of the best scaling late game heroes if you can just get it where he can actually fight in the early game.
Right. And just taking a look at the laning phase, which is the biggest threat for a Shadow Fiend, is where he's dealing with the Dazzle and a Wisp as the two supports. Like, the chances of them actually being able to roam into lane and shut down the Shadow Fiend is highly unlikely. On top of that, we've got Magnus going up against the SF. That's not going to be, he's not a hero that could be terribly aggressive on the SF when it comes to obtaining kills. And Darkseer's Yoff lane is not going to be like, for example, a Clockwork who picks up level 6 and immediately starts looking for kills on a hero like the Shadow Fiend. Darkseer isn't quite the same. He's a lot more defensive in nature. He usually sits back, picks up a mech, a lot more team fights, so they won't have that early ganking potential against the SF. So I think Roxkiss, they drafted this beautifully. However, they are going to be dealing with an aggressive tri-lane, and with these two supports, it's a bit of a surprise for me, honestly, but the Wraith King is really, really strong when it comes to aggro tri-lanes. He is one of the better carries to be running in this situation.
I was fearful for Gallblack in this tri-lane because normally if you start harassing, they could use a smoke. Do they have a smoke? No, they don't have a smoke. They're just going to probably show themselves at the rune. But they could have probably killed Gallblack if he checks this rune because he wouldn't have boots normally, but now he has boots, and I don't know if they can kill him now.
Mm-hmm.
It's gonna be close if it happens. But they see that they're actually running. No, still Shadow Fiend bottom.
So it's going to be, so I'm still trying to figure out. So we got just a defensive tri-lane around Shadow Fiend. And by the way, I actually want to give a shout out to Uranium here. He's doing really, really well. I felt he had a pretty solid game one. He didn't make the most amazing plays, but he was just solid and didn't make too many big errors. And I was actually talking to Goblack between game one and game two, and it turns out that Uranium, he hasn't played with any other teams, and that's why his name probably won't strike a chord with anybody out there. He is just a pub. He is just 6K MMR pub who's friends with Solo and Dread and those guys. So they just took an opportunity because they couldn't use their original stand-in. They were going to use Nexus. Instead, they've used Uranium, and he's got to say, he's doing well. Looks like we're going to see a switch up of the lanes, though, as Roxkiss are going to be running dual lanes to start with, as Shadow Shaman and Centaur going to be bottom, and we have the SF and the Shadow Demon middle, and that leaves a 1v1 matchup with Cedoy and the Clockwork going up against Bulldog's Darkseer. So I like this decision from dual lanes as long as Goblack doesn't get caught, and a smart decision to get through that one tree, eating it, and therefore making sure he does not take a ton of damage in the process.
And with this, the BZZ, he should be getting his level 2.5. They can do fine. And if Shadow Demon rotates over, they can actually get a kill with having the Centaur on bottom much easier than having this Shadow Fiend, which I would have liked Shadow Fiend middle anyways against a Magnus more so than bottom lane because he can stack, he can do the RTZ stuff, he can stack these two camps, either which one, and get a lot more out of it. He might not be a mid player though. That could be a problem. Because if you're not a mid player, then you're not used to all these different mechanics.
Yeah, the small interactions that is required for middle lane. Ake is going to get caught by the shackles, but it's unlikely they can do anything with it. Loda does the smart thing and stuns up the Centaur, and they may actually try and turn. He took a lot of damage from the tower, but they're going to go on Ake, blowing him up for the first blood. But Centaur will give up his life in the process. EGM gets the shock off from Godblack, securing 2 kills for 1, and all of a sudden the aggressive tri-lane is a complete disaster for Alliance.
Right, and I'm actually watching Uranium. He's going to be catching up. I'm just glad they did this rotation because they just have so much more killing potential, and he has his Tranquil Boots almost, if not already. Let's see, that's 450.
Oh, yeah, he does.
Yeah, he has it. Yeah.
Yeah, he's going to be a real happy camper with that one. So while he may not pick up as much experience as his supports who secured those 2 kills earlier, he's still going to be pretty damn happy with his farm. And right now you see S4, he did pick up that Invis rune, but it's unlikely he's going to be able to do anything with that one. Uranium's not going to be playing that far out. And Godblack just goes right back to pulling. They have access right now to this pull. This ward did not block it. So they've been able to pull twice now, and thanks to the wave being so far forward, they should get most of this experience before they're intercepted by the tri-lane of Alliance.
I feel like Alliance needs to rotate their tri-lane. They're just down too much. They have boots on everybody on Roxas. They don't even have boots on anyone.
Oh, no.
He might
Wisp going to get caught out. Can he tether in time? Yep.
I thought it would stop him. No, it didn't stop.
Yeah, if they got like a shackle maybe from Godblack in time or something like that, but Stomp is just not going to be.
So does Hex stop it from going, or does the shackle only?
I believe the shackle only. Oh, man. No, Hex might do it too. I'm having a brain fart here. Real quick, guys, I have yet to say this so far. We are working not only on Daily Motion, but I'm also working from our secondary studio. We don't cast a whole lot from here, so if you guys have any issues with audio, anything like that, graphics-wise, anything like that, anything that I can change, be sure to tweet at me since I can't actually see a chat. Tweet at me at Dota Capitalist. And also, let me know if Hex does stop the tether pull because I'm having a brain fart on that mechanics right now. Yolo's going to be able to secure the haste rune, and Treads is picked up by Loda, so that's all right. We've got upgraded boots at the very least, which is definitely going to help out, but I still fail to see how they're going to be able to secure a kill. If anything, it's going to be Roxkiss who are the ones going to be able to be aggressive on Alliance.
Yeah, the only bad thing is Bulldog's going to be applying a lot of pressure to the top lane, so sometimes
disruption.
Oh.
Now EGM, there's nowhere to run this time around. Ake does have Shallow Grave, but he doesn't go off in time. Double Edge secures the kill, and BZZ, maybe he can live. He's going to be taken out a little bit from this Hellfire Blast, trying to bait out Loda a little bit possibly. He's juking through the trees. The last stun does land. Loda will finish off that enemy Centaur, and it doesn't look like he's going to get punished for it as the rest of Roxkiss are forced away. Meanwhile, we did have Seedoy, who was able to pick up the kill on Admiral Bulldog's Darkseer. So I know this is a good matchup, but I guess once he picked up level 6, I didn't really expect him to pick up the kill.
Yeah, I just let you continue bottom because I saw it, and he had no mana and just got caught out and pulling this creep camp here up top. And bottom lane, the only reason why he actually died, the Centaur died, is because this, you see this tree? It's gone, so it gave Loda vision. If that wasn't actually even, or this one maybe.
Yeah, that
both,
one.
Actually. Yeah.
Yeah.
Could have gotten away.
If he'd been able to like loop into this little area or just be able to cut down, he might have lived, but yeah, it goes to show, like, automatically, the Clockwork is going to do well versus Darkseer because of the cog spam. Obviously, SF is going to have a great time versus S4's Magnus, even if it is an S4 Magnus. I don't care how good you are on that hero. SF's going to have a pretty damn good time with that lane. And so as long as they didn't lose up against this aggressive tri-lane, Roxkiss were going to do fine. And while they have traded a couple kills back and forth, they are certainly not behind in this bottom lane. Now, S4 picks up a double damage rune, which Seedoy was trying to intercept, but unfortunately didn't have enough mana.
Right, and Both of these, oh, bottom lane. Easy.
Can they really kill the big old tanky Centaur? He's going to get a good stun here. Maybe they could chase him into the tower, but we do have a teleport in. And Disruption goes down. Unfortunately, BZZ doesn't have the cooldown off for his stun.
EGM's stuck.
Yeah.
He's going to die.
He's not going to die. Disruption.
God Black.
Level 1 Disruption does not last long enough, but yeah, I guess God Black wasn't really expecting that one to move forward enough.
He has mana boots if he wants Skull Black, but he's going to go Midas again. You know what he wants.
Dude, it worked out so well last game. But how well do you really want to go into the late game? I know, again, Wraith King is not that good of a late game hero, but I feel Wisp is going to be able to make up for a lot of discrepancies that Wraith King has in the late game. Better attack speed, which is huge because Wraith King doesn't have the greatest in the world. And on top of that, the movement speed is really going to help out and make sure Wraith King doesn't get kited too much. And then you've got the Empower as well as the Magnus. It's really just not a Wraith King carry, but you have so much extra from Alliance augmenting him that he's actually going to be pretty powerful, I feel, going into late game.
I'm just worried that the Wisp isn't going to be doing that much because of the Centaur ultis. They have the Centaur ulti for the go away Shadow Demon for the disrupts, Clockwork, and then they have the Clockwork for the hook-ins to counter-initiate all along with the Centaur, who should have a Blink Dagger relative soon, but looks like S4, they're going to go on bottom.
Yep, they start the initiation. We do have coming in the Clockwork. He's going to try and hookshot somebody, but does he really want to go for the Wraith King here? He does have that reincarnation if necessary. S4 comes in. Looks like they were able to kill the support on the side, but we have BZZ able to pop the wand just before the stun lands, but they'll still be able to pick up the kill as now they pursue for more. S4 chasing away the rest of those supports while Seedoy locked in with Loda. Loda still has that reincarnate. He's okay with diving the tower here as long as he doesn't lose any mana, and now Seedoy slowed up by that one. S4 is going to get in range, just throws down the RP straight up and combos that with the stun and will be able to secure the kill. So the dive in the end does work out for Alliance as they pick up a couple of kills, but at the same time, we do have a lot of free farm for Roxkiss, mainly Uranium in this middle lane, pushing down the tier 1 tower nice and early.
They'll get this bottom one, so it was definitely worth it now.
Yeah.
If they didn't get the tower bottom, I don't think it would have been worth it because they lost Wraith King ulti for 230. They used Mag RP even though they got 3 kills, but if you get the tower, I think it's definitely worth it because they needed that. Besides that, let's look, like you said, he's not going to go greedy on Uranium, which actually this is one of the games where you could go Midas on Shadow Fiend. He didn't really stack the jungle, I don't think, too much. And I think he could have maybe got the tower, but he got it close. So, not too bad so far. Alliance is back in it now, even they didn't do that well early game. So, I'm liking their odds now, coming back in.
It is kind of refreshing to see a player. I completely agree with you. Just looking at the laning phase and looking how little pressure was going to be on the SF, I really thought he was going to be going greedy. So I agree with you there, but it is kind of refreshing to see a player just play so safe and conservative in so much. Once again, he has pretty much, he is the one position here for Roxkiss, and he's going for a really, really fast BKB. Last time, I felt it was kind of necessary, maybe not immediately, but you definitely needed to be able to have a BKB up relatively early up against the Clockwork. This time, I don't feel there's nearly as much to be able to catch him out.
Right. It's just some people's play style.
Yeah. Well, Godblack's going to make up for it. He's already got the recipe for his minus. Meanwhile, Alliance are pushing in top lane, but we do have some rotations. Uranium's going to come in, and he's going to be backed up by the Clockwork as well as the Shadow Demon. Loda, without his ultimate, is not going to be playing too aggressively. So
it's kind of sad though. They should have waited for the Clockwork. They could have killed him. They knew that his ulti is down, and it's still down.
Yeah.
So Dota has to go back for this Midas because you need levels on this hero really bad. You need at least level 11. 16 is where he gets really good, but
16, Magnus, you're just every 60 seconds you have reincarnate. It's pretty insane.
S4 still hasn't got his Blink Dagger. Maybe he'll get it now. Fly mid. There he goes.
Stun gonna go down. SF not quite caught out as the Shadow Demon was there to make sure that Uranium was going to be okay. Besides the fact he did have a haste rune in his bottle. But Loda was able to finish up his Midas, so thanks to that bottom team fight, allows him to be able to get a little greedy here. Oh, the RP goes down, and everybody from Rogskis in this middle lane will fall. Uranium comes in with his haste rune, but they do have the stun. Haste is going to run out, but it's not going to be in time. Maybe they have enough burst damage. Not quite enough, though.
Blinks off cooldown.
Centaur ultimate. Yeah, S4.
He's going to die.
He's going to try and get that last shockwave. Uranium barely able to get away. The Spirit Balls, though, doing a ton of work. S4, he's trying to get close range, but the tether for EGM gets him in range of that last auto attack. And now S4 going for more, maybe just blinks away. Doesn't want to get caught by Yol. That would be a little bit greedy of them. Instead, they're just going to take this top tier 1 tower. And while the tower did go down in middle, was it denied? Yeah, I can't see it.
I'm not exactly sure. I don't think it was denied, though, because where's the combat log?
EGM destroyed the tower. Oh, that just happened. Yeah. Shadow Shaman destroyed the tower. So it looks like he got it with the wards, but he gave up a lot of ward gold to Alliance at the same time.
Right, and Wisp is 8. Oh my god. He got... Alright, so Wisp...
oh,
EGM?
Jesus.
Oh.
I took my eyes off of S4
Yeah.
for a second, and he blinked in and had a double damage rune. Just almost one-shot Yul. One auto attack and one shockwave.
He was level 5.5. Now he's level 8 before the team fight middle. That's a ridiculous amount of EXP.
And he's almost got 2,000 gold to his name, so this could be a really, really early mech for his team.
He's going Vlad's. There's your item.
Okay. You know, when I said mech, just because it was just like, all right, what item is around 2,000 gold that's really good? Bulldog caught out, hook shot as well, and they will be able to burst him down real quickly. So Bulldog does fall to the ganking power of the Clockwork and the Centaur combo. Roxkiss certainly like running these sort of initiating ganking style heroes quite a bit. They love being aggressive on the enemy team, man.
I think they're just playing a little bit too not aggressive enough right now.
Yeah.
Because they started to get behind. Magnus got a good RP middle. They're kind of falling behind. They're down 2. No, they're not down any towers. They're down 1 tower, and they'll make up for it with top tower. Wisp isn't in position to take anybody anywhere. Darkseer top, could they defend?
So do you like the Vlads? I personally love it. I don't think a mech is necessary. Well, we have some jump in here. Loda's already going to be caught out. The relocate's coming in. Bulldog trying to catch out anybody he can. Seedoy is vacuumed back, but it looks like Roxkiss should be able to get out of this. Yol is just making sure his allies get away, in a 5-man rotation for Alliance to the top lane. While they do defend their tower, they don't actually get anything out of it. So just keeping themselves alive, but still not
Roxkiss aren't getting anything out of it either.
Well, I mean, they do have this bottom lane, which is pushing in, which Uranium's going to go to. He knows he's got a lot of time to be able to farm up this bottom lane because they had so many rotations to top. So that's one upside at least.
And they just immediately smoke gank. I wonder if this ward saw them. I'm not exactly sure if it did, because I don't think BZZ would be playing this close if he actually saw it.
They were in that area, so it's possible. But
Gallblack has his Midas up to 1,000 gold. He's gonna get caught out.
Yep, sure enough. Loda's making his way over. He does have also on the side, we got Ake coming in from the other side. Goblack now gets stunned up. Uranium books it, man. He's like, I'm out of here. See you later, Goblack. Centaur ultimate will be used. They knew they were going to be trying to get aggressive. Surge is going to get low enough. Close enough for another stun. Now S4 coming in. He does have an RP if he wants to use. Let's Uranium get off the ultimate and might be able to pop somebody. No, they all get low enough. And Loda, meanwhile, moves in and secures the kill on Seedoy as well. So I thought that was a little greedy, S4. Not using his RP right away on the SF, but still, everybody was kept alive thanks to Ake's Shadow Wave, who he did max it out, by the way.
They're just getting overrun in these team fights. I feel like they are stronger, sort of. I mean, Shadow Demon's only level 4 right now. This is not where you want your Shadow Demon being. Yol's just having a rough time. He's actually... If you think about it, all the Shadow Demons we've been watching, they've been like 0 and like 10 and stuff, 0 and 12. But this Shadow Demon's only 0 and 1, but he's still...
he's still just so underleveled because they haven't been able to pick up any kills around him. And that's the one thing, like I was expecting a little bit better Shadow Demon, but I suppose the big problem here is Alliance are all pretty decently tanky. Like their cores, Wraith King, Magnus, as well as Darkseer, either are naturally tanky or build into tank. So it's kind of an issue there. They can't kill any of the cores, and the heroes that they want to go on, that they can burst down, are going to be Dazzle and Wisp, who are pretty much at all times around their cores and slightly behind them. So most of the time, you're not going to find easy kills for this Centaur Shadow Demon combo, and it feels like Alliance drafted very, very well when they decided to give up that combo. Now jump in, the Blink Dagger picked up from Loda means initiates on Yo, and he's not finding levels anytime soon. Now Sidoi has a good conks, forcing Loda back, but he does have a Blink Dagger up in 3 seconds. Going in for more, maybe thinking about diving the tower, but nope, they're going to go right back to taking Roshan, which they certainly can do between the Vlads, the lifesteal, as well as that Empower, which is beginning to come online. Magnus, S4, man, he's got a ton of levels to his name, which means this Wraith King is just becoming a very, very good carry, nice and early.
How much is he lifestealing right now? See, Vlad's plus that's only at 20%. So they're doing about 36% lifesteal. He could like solo it if he wanted to, but they did it fast. They can't contest. They don't have a BKB on Roxas, and even if they had a BKB on Uranium, I don't even think they can. Like, they have only like they need, I don't know. I just feel like they're just dying too fast to the Skeleton King plus the Magnus combo. And then this Ion Shell is actually doing a lot of work too with the surges.
Oh yeah. Like they're just, this lineup is really drafted beautifully. I love it so much. They're just being able to, like, it's you get the early game aggression out of Wraith King with him and the Darkseer, and a lot of early damage. It's very up in your face, but they also have like enough that like this Wraith King carry will go on late enough pretty decently as well. Good disruption, dodging the skewer. Now the jump in, Centaur gets a 2-man stomp. They start going on Loda here, but he has a reincarnation, and the RP goes down. S4, the Horn of Magnus secures 4 heroes. Uranium able to pop the BKB, but we got Shalgrave up on S4. Finally, he does lose that Aegis. He's going to come back in and try and instantly blink away. No, he goes forward. Now trying to go on Yul. They're willing to be aggressive there. It's only Uranium who's the only damage dealer left. So S4 now godlike with that triple kill. Alliance making this look easy. 6-17 in favor of Alliance. 18.5 minutes in. And that gold lead is just going to be plummeting downwards more and more in the Alliance's favor.
I mean, they showed you how to do the combo right in the first play of the game, and Uranium's going to get picked off here off this S4.
Uranium,
Yeah.
very, very lucky
Bulldog's
there.
dead, actually.
Bulldog gets healed up from the Shadow Wave as well as the mech, but Bulldog will still fall. And now the jump in. BZZ going to be able to ensure the kill on Ake. But it's only very, very minimal heroes. Even popping the smoke, just trying to get close enough. EGM dragged away with Loda. And they will be able to get themselves out. So those is kind of a smoke spoiled there for no extra pickoffs. But I think that was smart from Roxas. They needed something there. They needed more than just a Dazzle and a Darkseer. They needed some sort of high priority pickoff.
Okay. Oh, no. Sidoi. That sucks. He was out of vision, I think, so he just guessed he would run down instead of shockwaving. But he shockwaved to finish the creeps, and S4 lives. And there you have, they needed pressure. Middle lane. They feel like they can't do anything without the like Alliance. Once their ultis are offline, that's the only thing they can't do is when they have the Magnus RP down. So Roxas can play a little bit aggressive, but they know it's coming off cooldown soon, and so they have to back up. And
I'm loving this build, by the way. Like, I was talking about, like, the Wraith King and how, like, I think Wraith King will be pretty decently, even if this game goes, like, 45 minutes in. I don't think he'll be kited a whole lot. His damage will be insane. But we got a nice little semi-carry as well coming out from S4, who is building into a Battle Fury. So, you want cleave action, man? Alliance got it in spades right now.
See if Gallblack got his item. He just got an Ogre Club. He's still far ways off. I'm just trying to figure out what the Roxas can do to get back in this game, because Alliance is going to have control of the Roshan the whole entire game, even if this goes late. And I don't think it's going to be that easy for Roxas to contest. And they don't even have to. They're just going to, they can play as aggressive as they want with Alliance. 2 lives on Loda. They have like nothing to stop him either.
Yeah, honestly, I see nothing really stopping Alliance from being able to go uphill. They've just got a ton of sustain between the lifesteal as well as the Vlad's pickup for Alliance. So whenever they're hitting things, man, they're keeping their life points up. They've got the mech for Darkseer. And then you've got that Wisp as well, who's being able to add in additional heals through Tether on top of the Shadow Wave Weave. So I honestly think Alliance could go uphill right now.
I mean, even though Wisp isn't the best hero to relocate with these heroes, I mean, they just need to relocate so they can split farm and keep Roxkiss grouped together right now. They have to play as a group. If they don't play as a group and farm, they're just going to get picked off by Wisp relocates. So, Wisp relocate's actually really good if you have a blink hero, and Great King got the blink, so I'm happy they did that. So they can pick off anybody. So this strategy with Wisp is always viable as long as you just get a blink dagger or something.
Like the double blade mails coming out, looks like BZZ as well as Seedoy are both going to be going for blade mail. So if they get in a good situation, they'll be able to counteract some of that lifesteal coming out from Alliance. We do have a haste rune being picked up by the Centaur, but in the meanwhile, the tier 2 tower at bottom did drop. And feels like Alliance just pulling out so much more out of the map right now because, like you said, Roxkiss are being forced to group up. Now, Godblack, he's going to have an Aghanim soon. Now jump in, skewer back, BZZ in a precarious position here. The vacuum as well goes down. Now the initiation relocate goes down. Loda trying to finish off BZZ, but he's a little too tanky. That wasn't quite the relocate gank that they really needed. Kind of questionable, and EGM will actually leave Loda here. And it looks like Alliance won a 5-man. 5-man through bottom right now. They still have the RP. They didn't use anything too big, just relocate for now.
They don't have the Aegis, wins Roshan. Roshan's back in 3, so yeah. There's no point in not pressuring. They just need to use Aegis, Loda's Recon. And if S4 actually had his 4-staff that he normally goes, he would have probably got a 3-man RP there too. But yeah, he just decided to try to pick up the Centaur. Didn't work out, but I still think they're going to be in a good position here.
What do you think about this casual Saint? Hold up, Loda jumping in. Oh, the vacuum as well. RP, 3 heroes down instantly. But BZZ and Seedoy trying to keep the hope alive by picking off the Dazzle. But now they're caught inside. The Cogs trying to get their way out of here. BZZ will fall. Seedoy was lucky enough to get out, or maybe not. Loda has a blink dagger. He's going to be close enough for a stun, but with a buyback coming out from Roxkiss, they want to be able to secure objectives, and they've got enough physical damage to take down this tier 3 tower before the Shadow Fiend is up.
I mean, it just goes to show you, if Alliance get the jump initiate, they're always going to win. They have to figure a way to get the Clockwork or the Centaur in there before they get to this high ground. And if you do that, I mean, you're still not going to be able to kill Loda. So there's nothing really they can do that much. You just have to find a way to initiate on S4 or this Bulldog without actually going in as like 3 or 4.
Right.
And how are you going to do that? How are you going to kill any of them if you don't?
Alliance initiating once again. BZZ pretty far out there, and he's doing some serious chunks. We have a 4-man vacuum. Now the skewer right through the Cogs, grabbing 3. Oh, man, all 3 heroes just disappear every single time. The vacuum Magnus combo, whether it's skewer or RP, just doing work up against Roxkiss.
Clockwork doomed them there.
Dude, he really did, man.
Here you go, guys. Free skewers.
Free skewers for days. Now they're going to be able to take down this tier 3. Fortunately, death timers are low for Roxkiss, but there seems like little hope. They are doing no dents whatsoever in Alliance's health. And then the sustain starts kicking in. What little damage they do is just immediately healed back up. So now Loda, you can see how hard he's hitting. There goes the vacuum skewer combo, only catching BZZ, but it's enough to give them a big advantage here for the next minute.
He doesn't have buyback on Centaur. That should be...
he already bought back.
GG.
Yeah, BZZ. He calls it for his team. So GG, 9-25, 25 minutes in. Alliance getting a kill per minute after what was a very, very tough game 1. They turned things around pretty solidly going in to game 2. So they even up the series. This is only a 2-game series, so there will not be a third game, but we do have a second series. It's going to be Roxkiss going up against Virtus.pro in a fun little CIS affair, so definitely be sure to stick around. Ryuuboruz, though, you're going to be taking off now. Do you have any last words? Pimp, anything? Twitter, all that jazz?
Yeah, Darkseer's 2-0 today. I want to say that. And that's a nice hero. I think he's definitely resurging. Besides that, you can follow me at Ryuuboruz Dota. You can follow me at Dota Capitalist too. I'm just kidding. Self. I'm not selfish, yo. I give the capitalists some love and support. But yeah, check out the next game too. I'll be watching probably, or I'll just go watch Toby since you're a trader. Yeah. See you guys around.
All right. Well, thanks so much for joining me, Rio. We got the next game coming up, virtus.pro versus KIS, in just a few minutes. Since we're already kind of behind schedule, we should be jumping directly into the game. So stick around, and we'll be back with KIS versus virtus.pro in the Dota 2 Champions League Season 3.